Dear soul, the angels are asking you to pause and listen carefully. They are connecting with your energy right now because there is something important you need to understand. Your future spouse, the one chosen to walk beside you in this life, has been deeply shaken by the truth of who you are. What they saw in you went far beyond the surface. It wasn't just about your appearance or your words. It was the essence of your soul that touched them. And this awakening left them both amazed and afraid. The angels want you to know that this is not something to fear. It is a sign of divine love unfolding in your life. There are moments in life when a soul feels a quiet longing, a yearning for something it cannot fully name. Many people believe this longing belongs only to dreams or to stories of another lifetime. But then, without warning, that longing becomes real. It appears in the eyes, in the presence, in the energy of another person. This is exactly what happened to your future spouse when they saw you. It was not just a meeting, not just a moment of connection, but a recognition of something eternal. They looked at you and realized that you were the answer to everything they had been yearning for in silence. You were the living proof of a dream they had convinced themselves did not exist. When they truly saw you, it wasn't a simple feeling of attraction or admiration. It was something much bigger. It was a life-changing realization. In you, they saw everything they had secretly desired but never thought they deserved. You didn't just awaken love in them. You awakened visions of a future they thought was impossible. A life filled with loyalty, trust, safety, and the kind of love that doesn't fade with time. They saw not only a partner but a home, not only passion, but a foundation, not only romance, but a legacy. This realization was beautiful, but it also frightened them because it shook the beliefs they had carried for years about themselves and about love. It forced them to face the question, am I truly worthy of this? Am I ready to live the life my heart has always wanted, but my mind has always doubted? Deep inside, your future spouse has always carried a quiet longing for something lasting. Beneath the masks of ego, pride, or distractions, they always wished to belong, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. They wanted to be part of a bond that feels like a sacred agreement of souls. They longed for a family, for someone to grow old with, for someone who didn't just tolerate their dreams but shared them. But for the longest time, they believed such a love was only imaginary. Then you appeared. You didn't arrive with demands or noise. You arrived with a light that said, "You are safe now." That light both melted and shattered them. It melted the loneliness they had carried, but it shattered the false walls they had built to protect themselves. In that moment of recognition, their spirit rejoiced, but their mind panicked. They realized that now, for the first time, they had something real to lose. And so, while their heart was celebrating, their thoughts were filled with fear. They began to see the parts of themselves that were still unhealed. They began to feel the weight of the walls they had built. You didn't just offer them love, you offered them belonging. You didn't just give them comfort, you gave them a vision of legacy, of a home filled with laughter, of children's voices echoing through the halls, of growing old with a partner who truly sees and loves them. This was overwhelming because they had never believed they could have such a life. The angels want you to know that their fear or distance is not a rejection of you. It is a reflection of how deeply they care. When someone has lived in survival mode, thriving feels dangerous. When someone has been told they are not enough, Unconditional love feels threatening. When someone has built their world on temporary things, being offered eternity feels overwhelming. You are not the reason they withdrew, you are the reason they woke up. Your presence revealed to them how small they had been living, how guarded they had been loving, and how afraid they had been of stepping into the life they truly wanted. And while this realization scared them, it also planted seeds of change that cannot be erased. The truth is, your energy has taken root in their spirit. The vision they saw with you, the laughter, the shared meals, the quiet companionship of old age, now lives inside of them. They may try to run from it, but they cannot escape it. It will follow them into their dreams, into their thoughts, into the quiet moments when they are alone. It will whisper to them of what is possible if they find the courage to return to you, not just with love, but with the belief that they are worthy of it. This connection between you and them is not fleeting. It is an anchor. Even if they drift, life will always pull them back to the truth of what you share. While your future spouse works through their fears, the angels turn their attention to you. They want you to stay grounded in truth. You were not sent into their life to suffer. You were sent to awaken them. You were chosen to plant the seeds of real love, not to be abandoned. And even though it may hurt that they are not meeting you fully right now, the angels want you to trust that your love has already changed their path forever. You are not just a person they met. You are their future. They may feel distant now, but they are orbiting you, gathering the courage to come closer. This is not rejection. This is preparation. What is sacred always takes time. You deserve a love that is not only emotional, but also foundational. A love that is not just sweet words, but daily devotion, patience, and effort. That is exactly what is being created now. Even if you cannot see it, the angels are guiding it. They are working behind the veil, healing your spouse's wounds, softening their fears, and guiding them back to the truth that you are home. When they return, they will not come half-hearted. They will come ready to build a life that feels like peace, purpose, and forever. You will not just be loved. You will be chosen every day. This is the love story that was written for you by divine hands. Dear soul, your presence carries a quiet power, not the kind that demands attention, but the kind that reflects truth. When your future spouse saw themselves in the mirror of your light, they realized how much healing they still needed. Your love is not ordinary. It is divine. It showed them what true connection looks like, and it made them lose control. Not because you did something wrong, but because for the first time, they were seen fully. This awakening stirred guilt, fear, and reverence within them. They remembered all the times they held back when they should have leaned in. They remembered the moments they chose safety instead of surrender. And they realized how much they needed to grow to meet you where you are. The angels remind you that this is not punishment. This is a gift. It is divine preparation, shaping both of you for the sacred love you are meant to share. They ask you to reflect on yourself too. You have been the giver for so long, always pouring your light into others. But now, are you ready to receive as deeply as you give? This connection is meant to flow both ways. It is not about who gives more or who holds more. It is about a sacred dance where both rise by lifting each other. Your love has already started teaching them how to step into that rhythm, how to give their soul instead of just their affection. how to receive love without fear. And though they may not know how to fully do it yet, the process has begun. Sometimes, love does not arrive quietly. It comes like lightning, shaking every belief and breaking every wall. That is what happened to your future spouse when they saw your soul. Their world collapsed, but this collapse was not destruction. It was divine intervention. It tore down illusions and revealed truth. Your light exposed the false comforts they had clung to. And while this has caused chaos in their heart, it is a sacred chaos leading them back to you. The angels assure you that what was awakened cannot be undone. They cannot forget your presence. They cannot erase the feeling of safety, joy, and belonging you gave them. They cannot go back to living small after glimpsing eternity in your love. This is why you must trust the timing. Trust that what is meant for you is already unfolding. Trust that the angels are guiding your future spouse to heal, to grow, and to return to you with the clarity and courage your love deserves. And when they do return, dear soul, it will not be out of fear. It will be with the full intention to build something eternal. A love that is steady, nurturing, and unshakable. A love that will be your home. Dear one, the angels want to bring you comfort and truth today. They are showing you something important about your future spouse. Something that explains why this connection feels so intense, so confusing, yet so sacred. Your future spouse has been holding on to ideas and beliefs that were never strong enough to handle real love. They may have believed that love had to be earned, that being vulnerable was dangerous, or that showing their true self would only lead to rejection. For a long time, they built their life on these ideas, hiding behind layers of protection so that nobody could ever see the depth of their heart. But then you came into their life, and everything began to change. When they looked into your eyes, they didn't just see kindness or attraction. They saw unconditional acceptance. They felt safety in your presence, and this both comforted and terrified them. Because for someone who has spent years hiding behind masks, being truly seen feels like standing naked in a storm, exposed, vulnerable, and without defense. Their spirit trembled in that moment, not because you hurt them, but because your love revealed the truth of how much they had been hiding, how much of their life had been shaped by fear rather than love. That truth shook them deeply. The tower they had built inside themselves, the false sense of control they had clung to, began to crumble. The control they thought they had started slipping through their fingers. They found themselves spiraling, overwhelmed by the weight of truth, the weight of your love, and the weight of all the feelings they had buried for so long. And yet, the angels want you to understand, this collapse is not a tragedy. It is a gift. When someone retreats, grows silent, or seems to pull away after such an encounter, it is easy to think something has gone wrong. But the angels are reminding you that this chaos is part of the process. It means their mask has cracked. It means their soul is awakening. You were never meant to support their illusions. You were meant to ignite transformation. And though that role is not easy, it is sacred beyond words. Your love is not ordinary. It is alchemical. It changes everything it touches. It does not simply offer comfort and warmth. It burns away everything that is false. Your future spouse is not just dealing with emotions. They are being spiritually reconstructed. The divine is saying to them, no more hiding, no more running. It is time to become who you truly are. And you, dear one, were chosen as the catalyst for this awakening. Your heart carries a strength that is rare, the strength to love even in the fire, the patience to hold space without trying to fix, and the kind of light that never dims, even when surrounded by shadows. You may wonder if they will come back to you, if this collapse will lead them away or bring them closer. The angels want you to know the soul always remembers the hand that pulled it out of the dark. Right now, your future spouse may feel lost in the rubble of their former self. They may feel confused, ashamed, or even unworthy of you, but they are not running from you. They are trying to find themselves. You planted a seed in their spirit, and while the outer world may still look broken, something sacred is blooming within them. They are being stripped of everything that is not real, so that one day they can stand before you, not as someone pretending to be enough, but as someone who finally knows they are enough. And when that day comes, their love will be different, not cautious, not guarded, but raw, real, and deeply rooted in the truth you helped them discover. The angels also want you to notice something important. The energy of reunion and soul celebration has appeared again. And this is not a coincidence. It is divine emphasis. The angels are placing their hands on your heart, whispering, "Listen closely. This matters." No matter how much chaos has stirred in your future spouse since recognizing your true self, no matter how deeply they may have lost control, the bond between you is unbreakable. Their soul remembers you, even when their fears resist, even when their ego tries to silence it. Their spirit knows that you are home. When they saw you, not just your image, but your raw and radiant essence, they didn't just see a person. They saw a joy. They saw home. They saw the celebration their heart had longed for without even knowing it. That realization overwhelmed them, but it also awakened a happiness they had buried for far too long. You may wonder how something so beautiful could make them pull away. The angels explain that when someone has lived their whole life without emotional safety, even love can feel threatening. Not because love is harmful, but because love demands surrender. It demands presence. It demands the walls to come down. And when your future spouse looked into your soul, they instinctively knew that to love you would mean to let go of every defense. Their spirit longs for that, but their human self is still learning how to hold that much joy and truth. Your energy, dear one, has always carried the power to bring people together, not by trying, but simply by being. Your future spouse felt this immediately. In your presence, their energy softened. Their heart felt lighter. They realized that life didn't have to be a constant battle. And yet, for someone used to surviving, that lightness felt unfamiliar. That's why they may have pulled away, not because the love wasn't real, but because it was so real that it scared them. But even in their distance, they cannot forget your energy. The memory of your joy, your laughter, and the unspoken understanding between you still echoes in their heart like a melody they cannot silence. The angels want you to know that the seed of joy you planted is still growing, even in silence. There is a part of them that smiles when they think of you, even if fear tangles their mind. There is a part of them that wishes they could go back and choose courage instead of fear. And one day, when they have made peace with their own worthiness, they will return, not to what you had, but to what is still possible. Until then, The angels ask you to celebrate yourself. Do not pause your joy while someone else finds their way. You were never meant to dim your light just because someone else wasn't ready. Live fully, laugh deeply, love yourself fiercely. For the more you embrace your own joy, the more you raise the vibration that will call not only your spouse back into healing, but also your own deepest fulfillment. Your spouse will remember the way you made them feel alive. They will remember how your laughter broke through their silence, how your love reminded them that they, too, are worthy of celebration. And when they return, it will be with a heart no longer afraid of joy, but ready to create it with you. The angels want to reassure you. This story is not over. It is still being written. And when the next chapter begins, it will feel like a long-awaited reunion between two souls who always knew they were meant to find their way back to each other. Your future spouse was deeply shaken when they saw your soul. Your light reflected back to them all the parts they had been hiding, all the wounds they never healed, all the masks they wore just to survive. Instead of surrendering, their fear took control. But this was not rejection. It was internal conflict, a battle between love and fear. They felt your energy as rare, powerful, and real. And when control slipped away, they panicked. Their pride may have stepped in, pushing you away. But behind that pride, their soul cried out for you. Even now, though they may appear calm or distant, inside them there is a storm of regret, confusion, and awakening. They are questioning their choices, replaying moments, realizing that their ego pushed away the very healing they needed. But the angels want you to hear this. None of this is your fault. You did nothing wrong. You showed up with pure love, and your love left a mark they can never erase. They may try to distract themselves, but your light has already imprinted on their soul. They cannot unsee the truth you revealed. This moment is not the end. It is a turning point. Your spouse is being forced to confront their fears, to face the weapons they use for self-protection, and to realize that in trying to protect themselves, they hurt the one who loved them without condition. This realization is not gentle. It is shattering. But through that pain, the angels are guiding them back to love. While they fight their inner battles, the angels turn to you. Protect your heart with love. Do not let their silence make you doubt your worth. Do not let their fear make you question your truth. You are love itself. You are the spark of their awakening. Sometimes, the path to union looks like distance. Sometimes, love must break down illusions before it can build something true. This is messy, yes. Painful, yes. But it is sacred. And one day, when your spouse finally lays down the weapons of pride and fear, they will return, not to resume an old story, but to start a new chapter, a chapter where both of you meet in truth, healed and whole, ready for the love that was always meant to be. So hold on, dear one, not to their actions, not to their silence, but to the vision of love God planted in your soul. That vision is real. The angels are here, wrapping you in golden light, guiding both you and your spouse through this season of transformation. And when the time is right, your future spouse will return, not confused, but clear, not hiding, but open, not afraid, but ready. They will look into your eyes and say, I see you. I choose you. I am ready now. Until then, live, laugh, Heal. Celebrate yourself as fiercely as you love others. For nothing real is ever lost.